For 25 years, a Florida mother and the car she was driving seemed to vanish without leaving a trace. Then, on April 6, 2025, a sonar operator scanning a small pond in Plantation noticed an unnatural shape approximately 13 feet beneath the water. Divers went down to investigate. They found a 1996 Toyota Camry. Inside were skeletal remains. The vehicle was connected to Libby Ann DiBenedetto, a 35-year-old mother of 3 who disappeared in 2000. The unsettling question was how a full-sized car remained hidden in an ordinary neighborhood pond for a quarter of a century. Stay to the end, because the discovery answered where Libby went, but it did not fully answer how her car entered that water. Libby was not newly married, despite some inaccurate descriptions online. She had recently finalized a divorce and was living with her mother in Sunrise, Florida. She worked in healthcare and was raising 3 children. Her beige or gold 1996 Toyota Camry reportedly displayed Florida Marlins and Miami Dolphins bumper stickers. Yet Libby and the vehicle disappeared together. There is one important conflict in the historical records. Recent local reports and the Sonar search team identify April 11, 2000 as the date she disappeared. Older missing person databases list June 12, 2000. What the sources consistently report is this: Libby spent the night with friends at Duke's Bar and Grill in Davie, contacted her therapist, and never returned home. Reports say Libby left Duke's Bar and Grill at around 1:30 in the morning. After that, the timeline becomes frighteningly thin. Her last known action was calling her therapist. Some accounts place the call at a payphone near North Pine Island Road and West Sunrise Boulevard. One account says she called twice and was advised to go home. She may have been less than half a mile from the home she shared with her mother. Think about that distance. It was only a few minutes by car. But Libby never arrived. When her family could not find her, the missing Camry became one of the investigation's most important clues. A missing vehicle may preserve signs of an impact, personal belongings, or evidence that another person was involved. But investigators did not have the car. They had no confirmed destination and no physical scene to examine. The central question became simple but impossible to answer. Did Libby deliberately drive somewhere unknown, or did something happen during the short journey home? Months became years, and the investigation grew cold. Libby's children grew older, without knowing whether their mother had left voluntarily, been harmed, or suffered an accident. Her mother lived with the knowledge that Libby may have been heading home when she vanished. That uncertainty left the family unable to fully mourn or confidently hope for her return. The Camry remained missing too. South Florida contains countless canals, lakes, and retention ponds. Many sit only a short distance from busy roads, houses, and shopping centers. Murky water, sediment, and vegetation can conceal a vehicle from anyone standing on the shoreline. Still, one question remained. If Libby's car had entered water, why had nobody found it? The eventual answer would come from sonar technology and a volunteer team willing to examine one body of water after another. In July 2022, Sunshine State Sonar began searching for Libby. The volunteer organization uses sonar equipment to locate submerged vehicles connected to missing person investigations. This was not one quick search. Over approximately 2.5 years, the team conducted repeated deployments and examined around 400 bodies of water in Broward County while investigating Libby's case and other disappearances. Sonar works by sending sound waves through the water and measuring the echoes that return. Operators must interpret shapes and shadows, separating possible vehicles from debris and underwater terrain. Again and again, the team searched and found nothing connected to Libby. Then, on Sunday, April 6, 2025, at approximately 3:48 in the afternoon, searchers detected a vehicle in a small pond near West Sunrise Boulevard and North Flamingo Road in Plantation. It rested about 13 feet beneath the surface. Divers entered the water. The vehicle was identified as Libby's 1996 Toyota Camry. Skeletal remains were discovered inside. After 25 years, the largest missing piece of the case had finally been located. Plantation Fire Rescue helped remove the vehicle. Plantation and Sunrise Police became involved because the discovery was connected to the long-standing missing person investigation. But finding the Camry did not automatically explain Libby's final moments. The recovery established several important points. First, Libby's car had remained in Broward County. Second, human remains were recovered from inside it. Missing person databases later listed Libby as recovered, although early police reports said formal identification procedures were required. Third, the location suggests her disappearance occurred during a local journey. But the discovery does not, by itself, prove why the car entered the pond. An accident is one possibility. A driver could miss a turn, lose control, or enter water where there was little to stop the vehicle. Darkness, road conditions, impairment, emotional distress, or a medical emergency could potentially contribute. However, those are possibilities, not established facts. It would also be irresponsible to declare that Libby was murdered without supporting evidence. Public reporting has not established that another person forced her car into the pond or attacked her before the vehicle entered the water. Investigators would need to study the Camry's damage, its position, the surrounding terrain, and any forensic evidence that survived. After 25 years underwater, corrosion and decomposition may have destroyed or complicated many of the clues investigators would normally examine. The careful conclusion is this: investigators discovered the vehicle and remains, but the publicly known cause and manner of Libby's death have not been fully explained. The case shows why missing person records must remain searchable for decades. A cold case may appear silent, but new technology can make old geography visible again. The evidence was not necessarily gone. It was beneath a surface that earlier searches could not clearly read. A car beneath 13 feet of water may sound impossible to miss. From the shoreline, however, the pond could have appeared completely ordinary. Sediment reduces visibility. Algae and vegetation hide outlines. Water levels change. Unless investigators have a strong reason to search a particular pond, hundreds of waterways may compete for limited resources. A nearby pond may also be overlooked when investigators assume the missing driver took another route. Sonar allows search teams to scan the bottom systematically and identify objects that cannot be seen from land. That is why the long search effort matters. This was not merely a lucky discovery. It followed repeated deployments, research, and the elimination of hundreds of locations. The recovery site also leaves one painful thought. Libby was not hundreds of miles away. For 25 years, she remained in the same county, beneath water beside ordinary traffic and daily life. Libby Ann DiBenedetto's case provides an answer, but not every answer. Her family no longer has to wonder whether she created another life somewhere, or whether her missing car might eventually appear on a distant road. The work of Sunshine State Sonar also demonstrates how volunteers and modern technology can revive cases that once seemed impossible to solve. Their search began in 2022. It ended on April 6, 2025, when Libby's Camry was found in a plantation pond. But one question remains. Was Libby's death a tragic accident during her final drive home, or did something happen before the vehicle entered the water? Until investigators publicly establish the cause and manner of death, no responsible storyteller can claim certainty. What can be said is that Libby was more than a missing person poster or a cold case number. She was a mother, a daughter, and a healthcare worker whose family waited 25 years for an answer. Her car was finally found. Her disappearance finally had a location. but the complete story of her final moments may still be hidden within the evidence recovered from that pond.